Welcome back to another Alliance War, the third war of Season 11, and for Loki is taking on the sassy Super Andromeda Skrulls. I'm going to do a little bit of light boosting to start out this war, as I have a few fights here that I don't think are going to be too threatening. This first fight is a Mysterio, but this war definitely heats up as it goes on. I actually have some boss action, so you're going to want to stick around till the end to see how I do against a Havok boss. But anyway, first fight here, this is that Psychic Thorns node, and they also picked the size S defenders evading defensive tactic, which seems to be the tactic that every alliance picks pretty much. And with Namor here against Mysterio, there's nothing that I really have to watch out for. I can just kind of pile on that damage. You're seeing that I'm hitting for a lot harder than normal. It's a little bit hard to see all the numbers in red popping up. And since I have Mysterio, I also know that I should not really attack him when he has his Special 1 active, otherwise it's going to reflect all that damage. You also don't want to attack him during his Special 2, so it's just right after he pops his specials, you kind of want to stay away. I wish I got the kill with that Special 2. Unfortunately, now I took a little bit of recoil damage. Not a huge deal, but just one of those little annoyances. But Mysterio ultimately does go down. Alright, moving on to the next fight. This is Psychic Thorns as well, and it is just a Nebula. So you can see why I went with some light boosting here. Go ahead and pop a potion into Namor just to play things safe, as we know that this alliance, well, they're definitely strong, and we're 1-1 at this point. So we're trying our best to to open up the season going 2-1. Feel pretty happy about that. So all right, Namor versus Nebula. Pretty similar to the previous fight. Nothing that I really have to watch out for other than this node has Limber, so I don't have an infinite amount of parry stunts to play with. So I'm going to, try to bait out the specials to get my openings. And, I do have a couple of parries that I can use, so I might as well go ahead and take advantage of those. And you can see here that Nebula, well, she drops pretty quick. Just got to get to a Special 1, use it, and she is down. Okay, moving on to the midsection here. I did not take any of the mid minis this war. And I'm just going to be moving right into Section 2. And I'm going on my somewhat normal path here of, Path 3 in Section 2 to match my Path 3 in Section 1. Have Electro as the first fight. This Electro has the Biohazard node on it. It's the biggest thing to watch out for, but of course with Omega Red it's more of a benefit than anything. He is a size small champion, oddly enough though. There's not that many male size small champions in the game, but Electro is one of them. And just going to go ahead and slap on a little bit of a light boost here once again for these couple of fights. So this Electro, going to be going in here with Omega Red, like I said, take advantage of that Biohazard. And, basically I could only use my heavy attack and medium attack. And because this person is running Limber, it's not entirely safe to get a heavy attack off. So I'm just doing like one hit, backing out, letting the spore damage do all the work. And yeah, that Electro, he just melts. Really wasn't much to it. Okay, moving on. Next fight here, we have Symbiote Spidey. And this Symbiote Spidey, he has the best defense ... node, which means the defender gains plus 60% evade and auto block accuracy, and triggering those gives him power. Don't have to really watch out for that too much. Of course, after Spidey throws his special, he has the ability to evade, and he is a small size champion, so I do have to be careful of that. But there's no Limber here or anything, and I could just attack him while stunned if I want to play it safe, or if I want to stay closer to him, I could attack a few more times to add the spores up a little bit. But I just opt for what I believe to be the safest route, and just kind of getting these single hits in, get a heavy attack at the end there, not gonna have to touch him anymore, and boom, he drops pretty quick. Okay, moving on. Now there's a little bit of confusion coming up here. You can see I'm boosting up, popping some medium-sized boosts, because I'm going to take this Mr. Sinister, and then I was planning on taking Medusa Mini right after this, but you're going to see what happens in just a moment. Let's focus on this Mr. Sinister first. So this guy has Special Lock 1, and honestly, that's just a benefit for me. So Really, I didn't have to boost up for this fight. And at this point, I'm just looking at this guy thinking, do I want to pop a 3-minute boost? Because I'm going to go into the next fight with a 3-minute boost. But I decided to hold off on it. And yeah, we're just going to go straight into this fight. This guy is stun immune as well. He's fully debuff immune, so that's the other thing. But as soon as I can build myself up to a special one and just keep that locked on and get that willpower healing, then I feel pretty comfortable, feel pretty safe with the fight. Of course, because he's debuff immune, I can't even, kind of make that mistake of getting my heavy attack degen on Mr. Sinister here. It's just slow play, let the willpower healing do its thing. Baiting out specials. Don't really want to push him to a special 2 just because the special 1 is a little bit easier to evade, and there's no reason to not bait that out. And just slow fight. He's about to go down, 5%, Spores doing their thing, and yeah, there we go, Mr. Sinister is down. So watch the text as watch the text on the bottom of the screen as I'm going up to this Medusa mini. Basically, yeah, I was on my way to Medusa. We were kind of talking about it beforehand, kind of debating back and forth whether or not I should, whether or not it was the best option, and then as I click Medusa, need to be careful, she's small champ, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I did forget about that. And this is not just any small champion, that small champion had counter tactics and everything, so thinking, okay, well, this is an extremely close war, so you know what, I'll hold off. The original plan was for someone to go in there with Corvus, so I said, alright, fine, I'll just let somebody else take it, and then I'm on boss duty here. So going up to Havok, going to have to reboost, unfortunately. The boost ran out. At least they were only the mid ones though, so it's not a huge deal. So go ahead and pop on these boosts once again. And I'm also going to go into this fight with a regen boost, a 3-minute regen boost. Just because I know I'm going to be blocking a lot, and I was trying to think, which boost would help me out the most. If I use the Power Start 1, I can cycle my Special 2s a little bit more, but after practicing, I realized, it doesn't really time out as well as I would like, so I said forget the Power Start 1 boost. The Invulnerability boost, I don't think was a huge deal either. And the reason why I went with the regen is because not only am I taking a lot of block damage, but, I want to stay topped off in case the plasmas detonate, and then I can, survive that and continue going in the fight. So pop on that regen just for a little bit of extra added safety. And the idea here with Omega Red versus Havok is just to do, 4-hit combos for the most part, and then turtle up, block, and just hope that he throws his heavy attack instead of throwing a special. I'm actually going to slow down the fight in a second here. You're going to see that I'm fully turtled up, fully blocking, and just waiting for him to throw a heavy, and he decides, no, you know what, I'm going to go into a special 1. And I start moving after he throws a special 1, that's why I slowed it down. But I just want to show that this is not a completely safe strategy. Sometimes if you are just holding block, he's going to throw that special anyway. He was unblockable in this case, so it kind of makes sense, but the first time, he was not unblockable, and he just decided to throw it. And at this point, I have terrible spore count. I'm getting my ass kicked, and I drop hard. It was an awful fight. Once he starts throwing those special ones, yeah, it's just, I don't know, things get out of control pretty quickly, and can't keep the spores up. So there goes all your damage, and then of course the plasmas are stacking up on you, and yeah, it's not going to be pretty. But I go back in, because there wasn't much time left in war. I was kind of practicing leading up to this, spending the last like 20 minutes or so just trying to duel Havok, try to get as comfortable with the fight as possible. And not much time left, so didn't want to wait and see what other options we had. Just go ahead and revive, use some potions, go back in here. Still have that 3-minute regen boost going. Actually, no, looks like that dropped off. Well, that's unfortunate. Didn't realize that till just now. But this time, he's much more willing to play the style that I was hoping that he'd be willing to play, where I'm just doing these 4-hit combos for the most part, unless it's to push him over the threshold for a special 2, because that is exactly what I want him to throw out. And then I try my best to use heavy attacks here. This time I connect the heavy into a special 2 to get that death field back up. and keep that high spore count. And now the fight is going great. Have him at a really high spore count. You know, it would have been nice if I could have got a heavy attack off sooner to kind of lock in those spores. That was probably the best opening right there that I just kind of missed. But at this point, he was so low anyway that yeah, I'm just going to take him down without doing another heavy attack even. So Havok goes down on the second try. I wish I could have one-shot him because unfortunately that is my first death of the season, going up against this Havok boss. But at least I was happy that I was able to clean things up and I didn't have to you know, make somebody else to go in and clean up my mess. So I was happy about that. And we did go on to win. It was an extremely tight war. We were actually behind at one point, and you know, just kind of worked out in our favor. So yeah, shout out to the Skrulls. Good war to you guys. And we are now 2-1, and next war the standings will be out. All right, thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care.